Hello everyone, this is Syl Desaulniers, your host for your very special market update today. As you know, we do this from time to time as a special bonus for members of the candlecharts.com family. And for those of you not familiar with me at this point, I am a recent addition to the candlecharts.com family, as well as a Nison Certified Trainer, as well as the Nison Candle Software technical support person. So today we're going to review just a few markets. We're going to look at the S&P 500. We're also going to be looking at the Canadian dollar, and we'll close it out with the gold market as well. So what you see on the is the S&P 500 daily chart. And you see at least there's a little bit of a channel that's been rising here for the last couple of months through August and September. I'm going to backtrack very quickly here to a weekly chart and take you to a bigger perspective of the channel and the trend that the S&P has been in. You can see from a long-term standpoint dating back into 2009 when the lows were established that this has been in an uptrend ever since. So as I zoom in a little more closely now, you can see a few areas of resistance that were established around the 1420 area. There was a bullish engulfing, bullish sash pattern that was developed here right around this 1300 level. And of course rising through the 1420 into where we established now. And you can see the pullback that's occurred over the last couple of weeks into that former resistance, now support area, as a change of polarity has occurred. So let's go back to our daily and we can take a look at this channel once again, this finer, smaller channel that has been. And the markets have hit a little bit of a top near the 1470 level, a little bit of a shadow that occurred a few days back, and we ended up with a shooting star formation just about 4 days ago, and it has retraced all the way back down to a level of support based on this lower trend line, which is a parallel to the upper line forming this short-term channel, as I said, over the last couple of months. There's also some support in here, maybe based on these prior highs right over here in early September as well, and we're seeing a bounce occurring today with a very nice bull sash candle formation today. Bull sash being that there was a lower close yesterday with a higher open today, and it did close above yesterday's highs as well, forming that bullish reversal. So right now resistance levels would still be intact near the 1470 level, and support perhaps here may have been established just around this 1430 to 1435 level right now on the S&P. So for now anyway, it appears that the S&P is still tracking and trending to the upside, as I said, with resistance near 1470 and the current support currently at this 1430 level. As we move over to the Canadian dollar, you can see that I have a daily chart once again. This has also been trending higher and did find a little resistance here near 103.50 and has retraced back to a former level of resistance at the 101.25 area, which was again former resistance, now support, so a change of polarity established here. As we look at the weekly chart very briefly, we go back a little bit, you can see the former range that it was in, and it has been pretty much almost sideways and maybe breaking out of the 101 area as we speak right now. Right in this area, right through here, we can see there might have been some resistance long term over the course of multiple quarters and even throughout the whole year, and now breaking out, and you can see the retest that occurred just this past week at the 101 level, or just above the 101 level as described on the daily chart. So as we reset back to the daily chart, as stated, the trend is up. We see a change of polarity and a bounce, and once again, as I zoom in a little closer, a similar candle once again as we saw on the S&P is a bull sash formation here in an attempt anyway. So the lower close yesterday, the higher open today. It did not close, however, above the highs or above yesterday's open in this particular case. So somewhat of an inside day, almost a bearish engulfing, but still a nice bounce nonetheless off this area of change of polarity that seems to be established here on this chart. So for now the trend is up. Support levels will be based on yesterday's low, and the highs, of course, 103. As high as 103.50 would be your next level of resistance on any kind of potential measured move or continued bounce from this level. And then let's switch over to the gold market. This is a daily chart once again. Again, the gold has been trending higher. It's had several large burst candles here, these large bullish candles that have been to the upside. Smaller candles in terms of small digestion, retracements, a little bit of fatigue after those big bursts. If we step back to the weekly chart, we see a prior resistance back earlier in the first part of the year in March, which is at around 1800, and this big rounded bottom formation that has occurred here in the market. If I slip back just a little further, you'll see some other resistance a little further back, maybe a little bit here where my cursor is here as well, and then just above the 19 to 1950 level, across those levels. But first and foremost will be the 1800 level that gold may be encountering. So as we retrace back to the daily chart, something I want to show you from the standpoint of retracement levels, there's the high. And if I take it back to where the thrust actually originated, so you've got your 0 point, your 100% point at the top here. It has retraced back down to about the 6.8% retracement and has bounced since then, since yesterday into today. Now approaching the highs from the last several days, as well as approaching the 1800 level of resistance as well. So fairly strong bullish move still occurring in gold for now, and still looking very, very strong here going forward. Taking a closer look at some of the moves, we saw a big thrust in bullishness on the gold right at this 1650 level before. There was a few little doji formations that were resulting here as a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of digestion, another thrust higher, and here we have a little bit of a separating line here as well. Another thrust, a little bit of digestion again with some spinning tops and doji, and then again the other thrust into the Bollinger Band and multiple doji across the top here, and then eventually the bounce off 1740 into the current level high. So right now, again, bullish trend to the upside into the 1800 level. The support level stop would be yesterday's low near 1740 for anything to the downside, with support likely around the 1710 level. Very good. That concludes today's market update. It was a real pleasure to introduce myself to all of you and the candlecharts.com family. We look forward to your continued support and look forward to you participating in a lot more activities with us in the future.